It was the middle of the 1st century AD, and across the misty lands of Britain, the shadow of the Roman Empire was growing stronger with each passing day. Disciplined legions, stone roads, fortresses, and harsh laws. Rome was taking control of every land it set foot on, but in the middle of this cold and ruthless order, a new spark was rising. That spark was named Boudica. Boudica was the queen of the Iceni tribe. With her long, flowing red hair, piercing gaze, and powerful presence, she was not only a leader but also a symbol. The Iceni were a proud, strong, and warlike people who valued their freedom above all else. At first, they had made an agreement with Rome. Under these terms, they would continue to live semi-independently on their own lands. Boudica's husband, Prasutagus, tried to maintain a balanced relationship with Rome, but Rome's mission was never to share power. It was to control. When Prasutagus died, everything changed. Rome ignored every agreement that had been made. Iceni lands were seized, and the people were forced under heavy taxation. But the breaking point was what they did to Boudica. Roman soldiers flogged her in front of her own people. Her daughters were humiliated. This was not just punishment. It was a message. Anyone who stood against Rome would be crushed. But Rome made one critical mistake. Some people do not break. Some are born for revenge. Boudica did not fall that day. That was the day she rose again. Her anger turned into a powerful rebellion. Messages were quickly sent to neighboring tribes. The Trinovantes, along with many others, answered Boudica's call. Because this was no longer just the Iceni's war. This was Britain's war for freedom. From villages, forests, and hills, people gathered in great numbers. Some were farmers, some were hunters. But they all shared the same goal, to stop Rome. As Boudica's army grew, so did her legend. Those who saw her spoke of the fire in her eyes. She stood tall on her horse, always leading from the front. She was not just a commander giving orders. She was in the heart of the battle. The first target was clear: Camulodunum. This city was one of Rome's most important centers in Britain and also a symbol of oppression. It was protected by strong walls, but the Romans made a fatal mistake. They underestimated Boudica's fury. When the attack began, everything happened suddenly. The rebel army flooded into the city like a storm. Gates were shattered, towers collapsed. Roman soldiers tried to organize, but it was already too late. Flames quickly spread across the city. The streets turned into a battlefield. Screams, clashing steel, and the roar of fire filled the air. Camulodunum fell. This victory was not just military. It was proof that Rome was not invincible. Boudica did not stop. The next target was Londinium, the foundation of modern London and the heart of trade. Losing it would be a devastating blow to Rome. The Roman governor, Suetonius Paulinus, realized early that the city could not be defended and chose to retreat. That decision sealed the city's fate. When Boudica's army entered Londinium, it was defenseless. The flames rose again. The city was destroyed. Then came Verulamium. The same fate. The same end. For Rome, this was no longer just a rebellion. It had become a disaster. But the Roman Empire did not fall easily. Suetonius gathered all remaining forces. Experienced soldiers, disciplined legions. This time, there would be no retreat. There would be one final battle, and that battle would decide everything. Boudica carefully chose the battlefield. A narrow area backed by forest. limiting the Romans' ability to maneuver. Her army was larger in number, but weaker in discipline. Even so, their morale was highed out just before the battle began. Boudica rode to the front of her army. Silence fell. Then she spoke. She spoke of freedom, of honor, of Rome's and cruelty. She told them this battle was not just for land, but for their future, for their destiny. And then, the battle began. The Roman army advanced in perfect formation. Shields, spears, flawless discipline. The rebels charged in waves. The first clash was brutal. The ground shook and the sky was filled with cries. But this was where Rome's strength showed. They were better trained. More organized. Over time, the rebel army began to break. Numbers turned from an advantage into chaos. Rome advanced. There was no retreat. Boudica fought until the very end, but the battle was lost. What happened next remains uncertain. Some say Boudica took poison to avoid capture. Others say she died from illness. But one thing is certain: she never surrendered to Rome. And her story did not end there. Boudica became a symbol in history, a symbol of resistance, of a leader, of a people who refused to bow. Rome may have won the battle, but Boudica left fear behind. She shook the empire. Even today, when her name is spoken, the story of a woman who stood against an empire is remembered. Her story teaches us this: power is not always in numbers. True strength lies in belief, courage, and never giving up. Boudica was not just a queen. She was a rebellion. She was fire. She was a legend. Remember her name. Boudica, the woman who burned Rome. If you want to discover more stories like this, don't forget to subscribe to the channel.